Hi everyone, it's Chrissy and welcome back to another Sims 4 apartment renovation. So today we're actually going to be renovating an apartment for my save file. So this is for Rebuild San Myshuno. And this apartment is actually one of the last apartments that I have to do. And I think it might actually be the last apartment that I have left to do for my save file. The only other lots that I have left to do in San Myshuno are actual lots. So the two lots in the Spice District, the Art Center, the big park, both of the karaoke bars, and then both of the, I think both of the penthouses, the one in the Fashion District and the one in the Arts Quarter, I still have left to do. And then I think I'm going to rebuild the one that I did in Uptown. I think I'm going to rebuild that penthouse because I don't like what I did there originally. But anyway, this apartment is, like I said, the last apartment that I have left to do in San Myshuno, unless I decide to rebuild some of the other ones that I already have done. But yeah, this is actually one of the biggest ones as well. This is one of the Uptown apartments, so it's really, really expensive. I have no idea how much this apartment costs to rent each week. I forgot to write it down and I can't remember off the top of my head. And I also can't remember what the apartment ended up costing when I was done furnishing it. What the price of it was, because again, I forgot to write it down. It's, I think, somewhere close to 200,000, I think. It's very expensive. It's a very big apartment and I tried to make it look like a very expensive apartment as well. So yeah, it's actually the VIII Landgraab apartments in Uptown. So it's the apartment right next to where the Feng family lives. So they have the other apartment in this building, and then this one is the one that's actually in the game. Originally it's empty, there's no one living here, but I did create a family for this. And I will put a picture of them up on the screen. They're called the Court family, like royal court, that court. But anyway, I'm probably I'm probably saying it so weirdly, and my accent just isn't helping. But anyway, so back to the apartment. So basically I did have to cut out a few things because it's a very big apartment, and I think I had about 3.5 hours worth of footage. It was a 30-minute video. I didn't want to do a 30-minute voiceover, and I don't really want to upload. I've recently been doing a lot of really long videos. For some reason, I don't know why I've been taking so long with building. But yeah, so I didn't want to do a 30-minute voiceover, so I did edit it down a little bit. So I cut out me doing the layout, flooring, wallpapers, all of the boring stuff that you can just see as we're going through and furnishing the apartment. You don't need to see me sit around and swap between 17 different wallpapers over and over again, because that's actually what I did. I actually didn't really have a clear idea of what I wanted the apartment to look like when I started this. I honestly kind of went into this blind. I knew I wanted to make it look like a very rich family lives here, and they're very not classy isn't the word I was going for, but maybe classy, very they have money and they like showing that they have money, if that makes sense. So I had no idea what I wanted to do. I wanted to originally make it a little bit more traditional looking. So we have the older kitchen counters, we have the older dining room, we have the dining room furniture, I guess I should say. We have the older bar stools and stuff. But then we also have all of these really modern things. So the modern appliances. Even the living room, the living room couch is a lot more modern than the rest of the apartment. And then obviously we're in this huge modern building. So doing anything too traditional or just too old worldy just didn't make sense to me. It just didn't look right and I couldn't make it work, even though I did try. So at the end of the day, I did go a little bit more modern with just a few touches of these older furniture styles. So the older doors, the older spandrels and columns, and stuff like that. So kind of they live in this modern apartment building, but they actually renovated the apartment to have the older wallpaper and wainscoting and all of that stuff. So yeah, in my head, obviously they would have done that to the apartment. They would have renovated it to make it look like a more, I don't know exactly what the word is. I don't know like architectural terms and like specific terms for like specific styles, if you can't tell. But basically more traditional, more, I don't know, Edwardian, Victorian, I don't know, whatever. Basically, they wanted to make it look a little bit older. So especially the main like living spaces. And then upstairs, the bedrooms don't really look this way at all. The bedrooms definitely look a lot more modern. Again, you know, being in this really big modern building, you have all of these huge windows. And you just really, you can't actually change them. So like you have to work around the big modern feel that the apartment already has because of the windows. So yeah, basically really big apartment, very big mix of styles going on. Honestly, at the beginning I tried sticking to one style and then I just gave up and I did whatever I felt like worked in the moment. So yeah, it changed. I furnished this apartment over the course of I think like 2 or maybe 3 days. So yeah, every time I came back to it and continued on with it, I ended up changing stuff. So yeah, it's a very big mix of different things. And yeah, you'll also see me switch around a bunch of stuff a few times. And yeah, I was very indecisive for some weird reason. But yeah, so this apartment, like I said, VIII Landgraab apartments, and it's actually a really big apartment. So it's actually for a really big family as well, as you can tell from the picture on the screen. So we have the 2 parents. We have Nikolai and Arabella, who's the mom and the dad. And then they actually have 4 kids. So the oldest kid is the teen child. Teen child. Yeah, that makes sense. The teen boy. So they have their teenage son, Gabriel. They have their teenage daughter, Seraphine. And then they have 2 twins. So the boys are actually twins. We have Enoch and Elijah. So I wanted to stick with the very like old worldy kind of names as well. So that's where Enoch and Elijah comes from, clearly. And yeah, so that's a family. And then they also actually have a butler. So this apartment is 6 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms. So there's a really tiny bathroom downstairs right off of the living room. It's literally like a 3x1 bathroom. It's literally a toilet and a sink. So just a powder room, I guess I could say. And I did cut out me doing all of the bathrooms as well. Sorry about that. They're very boring. They have all of like the same stuff in them. And you'll see them all in the screenshots anyway. So yeah, they're very boring. They're just bathrooms. One of the bathrooms does have a washer and a dryer in it. And I did include not wash baskets. What am I saying? Clothing baskets in all of the bathrooms as well. So you do have all of that. You do have laundry in the apartment. But yeah, so they do have 6 bedrooms because obviously we have the main bedroom for the parents. We have a butler's bedroom. That could also be a guest bedroom, or if you want to renovate it, turn it into like a baby's room, or maybe like another office or a gym or whatever you want to do with it. Feel free to change it up. But yeah, we have the main bedroom, we have the butler's bedroom, we have bedrooms for both of the teenagers, and then the twins actually each have their own bedroom as well. So they don't share a bedroom. They have bedrooms that are kind of like mirrors of each other. But yeah, so everyone has their own bedroom. So yeah, that's basically what we're working with for this house. We also have an office. I forgot to mention, we have an office as well. Because the dad, Nikolai, is actually in the salary person career. He's like right at the top of the career. And he's actually in the supervisor branch. So in my head, he like manages a big company. So yeah, he has a home office as well in case he needs to like work from home or brings his home work with him. He brings his home work with him. Yes, that makes perfect sense. Brings his work home with him is what I was trying to say. But yeah, in case he brings his work home with him, then he can, he has his own office away from everyone and no one is going to bother him in there. In my head, the office is kind of like a no kids zone. So all of the kids know that they are not allowed in the office, like at all, because he is actually a workaholic. I did give him the workaholic lifestyle. So yeah, in my head, he does work a lot. And he actually also has the hates children, not aspiration, the hates children lifestyle, what am I saying? the hates children trait is one of his traits. So he doesn't like kids. In my head, they basically had children because it was expected of them, I guess you could say. They're a very traditional family. I should just put it that way. Let's put it that way. So they're a very traditional family. They were both raised very traditionally, both Nikolai and Arabella, in the sense that, you know, you get married, you go to university, you get married, you have kids, and you have all, you know, all of that stuff. So they had kids kind of because that's what was expected of them. And their last pregnancy actually resulted in, you know, the twins, which was, I guess, probably a little bit unexpected. But yeah, now they have 4 kids. And then, yeah, so that's Nikolai. Then we have Arabella, who's actually a housewife. So she is a, I don't want to say stay-at-home parent, because that's the term that I would normally use if I have one of my Sims, you know, working and then the other one, you know, staying at home with the kids. I would usually say that they're a stay-at-home parent. But in Arabella's case, she's not really a stay-at-home parent because she doesn't have much to do with the kids. So yeah, she's a snob Sim, she's materialistic, she's very like, she likes the idea of having kids. She's a very like appearances oriented Sim, if that makes sense. So you have those people in real life as well, where they like the idea of having children and they like the idea of how it looks, you know, having the perfect family, but they don't actually care about raising, you know, the family, if that makes sense. So that's Arabella. So yes, this family is a little bit darker. Not darker, but just not as happy and perfect as my families tend to be that I share here on the channel. So Arabella is very much she doesn't care about being a like authority figure or like raising her children. That's up to the butler. So yeah, in my head, the butler that they have, 𝘕𝘂, her name is 𝘕𝘂. She has been with them since Gabriel, their oldest, was a baby. So she basically has raised all 4 of the kids. And yeah, she's basically like their parent figure. Because their own parents just, the dad always works, Nikolai always works, and when he's not working, he and Arabella are like out, you know, maybe at like work functions, in my head, they're like involved in like, probably Arabella is involved with a ton of like charities and like charity boards and, you know, all of that kind of stuff. So they're out of the house a lot and they don't really like spend family time together, if that makes sense. So yeah, Arabella is also part of a club that I created called, I think it's called like the Myshuno Country Club, with a bunch of other like really rich Sims from all over my save file. I put a bunch of different Sims in there. You know, some of them are from San Myshuno, some of them are from other worlds, but I'm actually planning on turning the big park lot in San Myshuno, so like the central park lot, I'm actually planning on having that be like kind of like a multi-purpose type thing. So I will still have a wedding area on that lot, so your Sims can still get married there, have a reception there, all of that stuff. But I also want to turn it into kind of like a country club type thing. So I want to put in a swimming pool. I want to put in a like really big, I don't know, not dining hall, but like reception hall type thing, which obviously would also be used for weddings. I want to put in a like cafe area, so your Sims can like hire a barista and they can like order coffee there and all of that stuff. Like I said, I want to have the pool. I want to maybe add in kind of like a mini spa area, so maybe just somewhere with some massage tables and like a sauna or something, maybe attached to the pool. So kind of like a country club type thing. Obviously, we can't do things like have tennis courts or anything like that. I wish we could, but obviously tennis isn't a thing in the game, and I don't want to add a basketball court to the Central Park lot, just because it feels like it wouldn't really fit with the idea that I have in my head of this really like fancy upscale venue to just have a random basketball court in it. And also because in the like area around the Central Park lot, you know, in the world surrounding it that your Sims can visit and walk around in, all of that stuff, there actually is a basketball court in the world surrounding it, in like the neighborhood surrounding it. So you do have that if you want to like play basketball when your Sims go to Central Park. You just won't be able to do it on the lot, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's what I'm planning on doing with that lot. But that is going to be very long down the line because it's a 64 by 64 lot. And I don't have the patience for that right now. So yeah, that's definitely going to be a lot further down the line. But yeah, so back to the family. Like I said, we have the parents, we have the butler. I don't really know the like personality of the butler. I didn't really pay attention. But yeah, they have a butler. Then we have the teenage son, Gabriel, whose room we're actually working on right now. So he's basically like his parents. Like I kind of went very stereotypical with this family. I should say that I intentionally went very stereotypical, like rich white family with this family. So yeah, just be aware of that. I did go very stereotypical with this family on purpose. So yeah, just something that I thought I should mention. But yeah, so basically Gabriel is kind of like their parents' perfect son. At least in their eyes, they see him as, you know, the perfect son. He can do no wrong. He is basically just like the perfect everything. He's part of the varsity club that I actually created. So an actual club that I created that has some of the richest of the rich teens in it. So we have like Cassandra Goth, we have 𝘕𝘰𝘮𝘰𝘍𝘍, who's one of the richest Sims in Oasis Springs. We have VIII Landgraab. So like the very, very rich Sims we have in that club. He's also in my head. Obviously this isn't a thing in game, this is just me storytelling, but he's also part of his school's like varsity sports teams. So I don't know what sports, but because yeah, I'm thinking very American. I'm very much thinking American varsity sport type thing. So yeah, he's on like varsity sports teams. He's really active, really into working out, snowboarding, rock climbing, all of that stuff. But at the same time, he's also an A student and, you know, basically just the perfect son, if that makes sense. He's just like everything to his parents, everything that his parents wants him to be. He just like is. And then they also have their teenage daughter, Seraphine, who's kind of the exact opposite. I mean, she's still an A student. She's really, really smart. She's also quite, not super outgoing, but she's also kind of outgoing. She really cares about her brothers, her like little twin brothers. She's basically helping to raise them, if that makes sense. And yeah, she's very smart. She's really into computers, really into like building computers and like engineering, stuff like that. And she's also kind of like the opposite of her mom. So in my save file, I actually have it set up so that her and her mom dislike each other. So they actively dislike each other. They have like a red relationship. So they really don't like each other like at all. Because her mom is like super snobby and materialistic and all of that stuff. Seraphine is like the opposite. She's really down to earth. She gets along with everyone. She's not as like stuck up as her mom is, to put it bluntly. Her mom really cares about appearances and, you know, kind of in my head I was thinking like debutante, and her mother wanted a debutante kind of daughter, but she just really isn't. She doesn't care about, you know, dressing up fancy and going to fancy parties and, you know, all of that stuff. It's just not her. So yeah, she basically also like kind of refuses to let her mother like give her a makeover. She kind of like wears what she wants. She's very colorful. You'll notice that the apartment as a whole is very like monochrome. Everything is black, white, gray and blue, because that's the parents' style, and obviously the kids would decorate their rooms the way their parents wanted them to. They're that kind of family. So yeah, all three of the boys have black, white and blue bedrooms, and then you have Seraphine's room, who's literally the exact opposite. So her room is like really bright yellow, pink, white colors, and just literally the exact opposite of the rest of the apartment. And I did that on purpose because she's the only like daughter that they have, and she's, like I said, just the exact opposite of most of the rest of her family. I mean, in my head, she probably does get along really well with all of her siblings. Her older brother doesn't really care that she's different from everyone else, and doesn't care that she has a problem with, you know, everything that her parents does. I mean, I think secretly Gabriel also has a problem with, you know, everything. He's better at pretending that he doesn't. So he kind of like does everything that his parents wants him to do, and he figures that, you know, I'll do all of this, I'll eventually graduate, go to university, and just like leave. So yeah, she's very much more like, no, I'm going to actively resist everything. But yeah, that's Seraphine. And then we have the twin boys, Enoch and Elijah. Now, Enoch's bedroom is the one that has the black bed frame. I've just like talked over all of that, but basically we have Enoch's bedroom. His is the one that's a little bit darker. He has the black bookcase, the black desk. He's also the one of the twins that's more like, basically he's the more well-mannered and neat one of the twins. So he's a lot neater than his brother. You will see that Elijah's bedroom is a lot more messy and all of that stuff. So he's more like the mild-mannered, like good manners, you know, very quiet, neat, kind of one of the twins. He's also in the drama club and is like in the drama after school activity. I put him in an actual drama club that I created as well for like some of the San Myshuno like kids that are in the drama, like after school activity. And then we have Elijah, who's, like I said, a little bit more wild, a little bit more messy. In my head, he's also a little bit more mischievous, so he does get into trouble quite a bit at school, probably for like playing pranks and, you know, all of that stuff. So yeah, he is definitely the one that's more like in trouble a lot of the time than his brother. And then he's in the Scouts after school activity, and also in like a scouting club that I created. So yeah, I'm going really all in with a lot of these Sims and their stories and stuff. I hope you guys don't mind. But that's just, I put a lot of work into my save file, into the stories and the personalities and, you know, all of like the background stuff for my save file. And I sometimes get a little bit carried away with it, like I just did in this voiceover. But I hope you guys enjoyed this build nonetheless. If you did, give the video a like, and if you're new to the channel and you'd like to see some more Sims content, then feel free to hit the subscribe button and remember to turn on the notification bell as well to be notified of whenever I upload a new video. And also, if you want to download this build, it is up on the gallery. It's up on the gallery like as 3 separate pieces. So the downstairs floor, the balcony, and the upstairs floor are all uploaded separately, but I'll also have the download links in the description for you guys. But I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you're all having a great week, and I'll talk to you in my very next video. Bye everyone.
Used to think the world of you, but somewhere down the line we changed and we grew and we fell out of touch as time goes by. Still I'm holding on to you. I know that it's time for me to let you go. I know that it's time for us to part, though it breaks my heart. Baby, it's time for me to face the truth and say it out loud. I don't know you anymore. I don't know you anymore, like I used to do before. Used to be inseparable. used to think the world of you. Somewhere down the line,